Hello and welcome to Out and About. I'm Diane Gonzalez. The Sheldon Museum of Art is one of the great treasures of our city. It's a world-class art museum right here on the UNL campus. It was founded in 1888 and the collection now comprises more than 12,000 artworks. Now, at the helm of the museum is Wally Mason, and I'm very pleased you're able to join us today. We've been trying to get you on for a long time. You're a busy guy. Wally, you've been here since October 2014. Tell us about yourself and your background.
If you're a museum director, you travel a lot. It's a career that you're always looking for new challenges. So I've lived in, 3 or 4 states over the last 15 years and running academic art museums and most recently at Marquette University in Milwaukee.
And then you came to the Sheldon in about a year and a half ago or so.
18 months, and it's gone by like it's 18 seconds.
It does seem like you just got here. Yeah. Why did you want to come to the Sheldon?
Well, I think, and you touched on this, the Sheldon anywhere else is revered as one of the finest academic art museums in the United States. That may not be something that the citizens of Lincoln are mindful of all the time, and that's part of our job to make them more mindful. But the collection is absolutely incredible. The 1963 Philip Johnson building is amazing, and we have great support within the community. So it's very attractive to me to come here and work with this collection and in this community.
You mentioned the collection and the great support. What do you see as some of the other strengths of the Sheldon?
I think the fact that it's completely connected to UNL and can benefit from the resources at UNL. I think the city's the right size for a museum the size of the Sheldon. And we've had the benefit of a lot of engagement across the state since, again, 1888, as we partnered with what's now the Sheldon Art Association. People are very passionate about that museum, and it's hard not to be captivated and uplifted by that enthusiasm.
Well, what have you been focusing on in your first 2 years?
A lot of it is you go through a listing period. We have a new chancellor, Ronnie Green, who's about to start, and he will face that same issue that you just want to learn as much as you can, and given how old the museum is, there's lots to learn. Mm-hmm. We've had very dynamic directors. I've had the benefit of being able to talk to a couple of the previous directors. You want to learn the collection, and you really want to chart going forward how your vision will make sense for the museum. So that doesn't happen overnight. I mean, you can have first blushes on what that might be like, but in reality, you have to be here. You have to meet people, whether it's community members, faculty, students. How is this different than other art museums where you may have worked, whether it's Maine or it's Milwaukee? Each museum has its own specific character, and you have to figure out how you can not only engage in that, but also then enhance it.
Well, one of the changes you brought is that the exhibition calendar now follows the academic calendar.
Yes, and that's for a variety of reasons. The most obvious is that we think about college campuses having a fall and a spring. Why shouldn't the exhibitions fall into that same calendar? It's less confusing. That with the new year that there'll be new exhibitions, and then we do a series of exhibitions in the summer also. So that, and also the more we become involved with the faculty, we want to be on their calendar. So it means the exhibitions run a little longer, but if a faculty member is using the exhibition in their classroom, they have the entire semester to be able to do that.
Now, you have curated 3 major exhibitions so far. The latest is It Was Never Linear. Tell us about that exhibition.
And I will tell you that I co-curated that with a faculty member in the art department, Aaron Holtz, who's just tremendous, and I have great respect for him. And so we sat down at one point, and I said, well, if you were going to do something, who would you work with if it was about painting? And he said, well, these are the artists that I like a lot and I think are important to the collection. Well, it just happened to be some of the same artists that I thought about. So I said, well, why don't we organize a show together? And so the work all comes from New York. And that was an economic issue in that it could all come on a dedicated truck here. And it's all about abstraction and contemporary painting. And I think what's most interesting is that the age group is from the youngest person is 27, the oldest is 84. And in most cases, since we have such a focus on youth, you think, well, most of the artists are young. Actually, in this exhibition, most of the artists are old. And it's interesting how they influence so many younger practitioners at this point. And the exhibition is, we have this long history of doing invitationals, and they were originally called the Annual. So another gallery in the museum will be highlights of some of the objects we acquired out of those annuals, actually starting in 1888.
Well, what else can we look forward to coming up this summer and into the fall?
I think that what you'll see as you come into the museum is we're moving some of the outdoor sculptures to other locations. The exhibitions are really very theme-based in that they're contemporary issues that we see in the news every day, whether it's about identity, whether it's about whatever crossing borders might mean to someone. How do artists interpret those kind of ideas? So we are really trying to get as involved in the curriculum as we can, because to be relevant to the university is to be relevant to this community.
Well, talk a little bit as we wrap up here about your vision for the museum. Now that you've kind of got your feet on the ground, what do you really want to do moving forward?
I think that one of the biggest challenges is to remain organic about how we collect art. We've got such an outstanding collection, and we want to continue to add to that. So we're continuing to grow, and the challenges of the art market, where it's so expensive to acquire works, how do we continue to be viable, much as we were when we acquired our Mark Rothko or the Edward Hopper? How do we continue to be viable in that regard? That's not an easy challenge, but it's an exciting challenge. So I think that's our. You want to continue that legacy, and hopefully we can do that.
And is Lincoln, Nebraska what you thought it would be?
Actually, it's much more engaging than I thought it would be. I had ideas about it, and a lot of people called me and said, "Why are you going there?" And now I just laugh about that because it's so wonderful. And we had a lot of people come and visit, and they all get it completely. So it's a bit of a kept secret, but that probably is not going to last.
Well, in some ways we want to keep it a secret, and in some ways we want to share. So
Exactly.
We are so glad that you are here, Wally, and we want to let people know just the details about where they can find out more information. The Sheldon Museum of Art, of course, is on the UNL campus at about 12th and R Streets. If you'd like more information, you can check out the website, sheldonartmuseum.org, and the phone number is 402-472-2461. Wally, again, welcome to Lincoln, and we look forward to having you here for a long, long time.
Thank you.
When we come back, Jeff Mall will tell us more about some of the great events coming up in Lincoln. Stay with us.
This city isn't what outsiders think. Lincoln has always had the reputation of being a sleepy Midwest city, but not the type of place people think about living, especially young people. We've just never really been the place people dream about. That's about to change. It's time to change perceptions. Exciting things are happening in our city, big things. Our spirit has a renewed sense of energy, and there's enthusiasm in our collective voice. You can feel it in the streets, see it on the skyline, hear it in the ideas of our young entrepreneurs and creative class. This might be a quiet, laid-back city, but it's buzzing with a flourishing economy and a rich, vibrant culture. Be young, have a booming career, raise a family. You can do it all here, and it just keeps getting better. We're the crossroads of blue skies and bustling progress, the sweet spot of balanced living. It feels good to be here, to be a part of it. In Lincoln, life is right. Now, it's time to let the world know.
Welcome back to Out and About, and Jeff Mall is joining us now. It's going to be a big summer in Lincoln.
One of the busiest summers that I can remember in the last at least 3 or 4 years.
I think it's just going to keep getting busier.
I love hearing that. I really love that you say that, because really it's so true right now. There's such an amazing excitement for our community, for everything that we have going on, and so many more people are calling us from across the country saying we want to be in Lincoln. So the show is part of that deal, right? We want to
There you
give people
go.
things to do and talk about our future.
And we're going to start off today by talking about our veterans. We've got some events coming up at the Veterans Memorial Garden. A couple events this summer. Memorial Day event is coming up Monday, May 30th. And then the Brick of Remembrance on June 11th. That June 11th is also the anniversary for the garden. Do you know it's been around for 27 years?
Yeah, I didn't know that until we started looking into this event. That's a pretty cool deal. And if you take family over there, it's a great place to be. Now, if weather does threaten, I think they'll take everything into Auld Pavilion. That's the benefit of doing
Right.
things at Antelope Park.
Right, and the garden itself is just beautiful. They have several other celebrations at the garden. They've got Patriot Day, September 11th, Veterans Day, November 11th, and Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th. They do a great job with their programs. It's always very inspirational.
And it tend to shed a tear once in a while when you're over there as well.
Yes, yes, you do. Another great thing about our summers in Lincoln is the farmers markets. Woohoo!
We're excited about the farmers market. I know the Old Cheney Farmers Market is up and running right now. We've got the Haymarket Farmers Market. We talked about Old Cheney, the F Street Neighborhood Farmers Market. Just a lot going on, and we're scrolling through a list as we speak right now. F Street, Jazz and June Farmers Market.
Of course, that starts up June 7th.
Right. The University Place Farmers Market, which
That
happens
one's on Wednesdays.
in June.
And then Fallbrook.
Fallbrook. If
There
you-
are 6 farmers markets.
Yeah, and I
So-
know Fallbrook incorporated some music into theirs, kind of like you get at the Haymarket Farmers Market. Just a lot of great farmers market opportunities going on right now.
So we've got Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
We've got a day in there, don't we?
We've got Monday and Friday to
We've
fill
got
in.
opportunities.
That's right.
I think downtown somewhere, a farmer's market during the day, right? Go over your lunch hour, 11:30 to 1 o'clock-ish, pick up some fresh produce for dinner that night. So if you're out there, think about it.
Maybe when Centennial Mall is completely finished, we can have some farmers markets there.
I
That'd
like
be
it.
great.
I like it. Tower Plaza would be pretty cool too.
If you know of a farmers market and we didn't mention it,
Right.
call me, because we want to make sure we promote those. It's great for the farmers. It's great for our health. It's just a fun thing.
It's a good thing.
Another great summer event is the Tails and Trails, and they have some of the most interesting events. The King and Queen Dog, the Mutt Mutt Golf, a pup cakewalk. It just sounds like a lot of fun, and it's a great cause.
Yeah, and it benefits the foster care program, humane education, animal adoptions, and the spay and neuter program. One that you forgot was the dog peanut butter licking contest.
Now, man versus dog. Oh my.
Have you ever given an animal or a dog peanut butter? They go crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fun.
it's fun. So this should be a lot. They've got Mutt Mutt Golf, great food, and much more. Fallbrook Town Center, a lot of dogs will be out there.
And you don't have to bring a pet. Just
No.
go out there and enjoy it and support the
right.
Capitol Humane Society.
A lot of great benefactors there.
This is leading into our animal segment, Jeff.
It is.
We don't often have an animal segment, but we're going to have one today. There's so much going on at the zoo. They're having Endangered Species Day, and of course, the zoo was recently featured on the Today Show with Joel
Yes.
Sartori, getting lots of recognition for the way that that we're calling attention to some of the species that may not be around much longer.
Yeah, I think it's so true that we take for granted the endangered species we have out there. I think we take for granted that we have programs like what the Lincoln Children's Zoo is doing with John Chapo. Great chance to get out there and learn more about what they're doing.
And Animals Got Talent. This is also at the Children's Zoo. The zoo's going to have some special shows, celebrating some of their most talented animals.
Crowd interaction, get a chance to vote for what you think is the most talented pet, and there'll be a lot of great things going on in the animal encounter stage as well.
I wonder if I could take my bird over there and enter this animal show.
Did your bird talk?
She makes some interesting noises.
She makes some noises.
Yes,
Like-
and dances.
Really?
I have a dancing bird.
How long have you had your bird?
A few years.
Wow, been working on the training aspect, or does the bird just pick these things up?
We just try to keep her happy.
Well, we hope to see you there.
The zoo also is having a fundraiser with its garden party. Of course, when you go to the zoo, you pay an admission fee, but that doesn't cover all the costs. They need to have special events and some good people in the community to step up. This is a great way to have some fun and support all the great things they're doing at the zoo.
Drinks, dinner, and an auction over at the zoo. Something a little bit different.
All right. One of the great sounds of the summer in Lincoln is the Zoo Train, and the train is celebrating its 52nd birthday. I love this, they call it the Z-O-N-O.
I thought it was a typo at first, but it is that. And the event, every hour, the zoo will randomly select a child to be the conductor of the train. Not often do kids get a chance to be a conductor on the train. There'll be a 50th celebration, including train rides, 50 cents off.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, all day.
The kids love the train.
I love the train.
Well, I do too.
Where do you sit on the train? Are you a front, medium, back? Where do you sit?
I kind of like to sit in the middle, but I always scream in the tunnel.
Do you?
Yeah.
Regardless of your age, you should always scream in the tunnel.
That's right. Wrapping up our Children's Zoo segment, there's a fun run coming up May 21st. It's just a great time to get out and enjoy the zoo and get some exercise.
Yeah, Lincoln Fire and Rescue will be on hand with a lot of their machinery and equipment for people to take tours of. Great chance to enjoy a free 1-mile race, which starts at 10 a.m. and all runners receive a free train ride back on the train again. Lots of great things. Enjoy lunch at the Safari Cafe.
And thanks to Lincoln Fire and Rescue for organizing this.
Yes, yes.
Let's go on to the Children's Museum. They have a special event once a year where it's not open to the public. It's open for kids who might not normally be able to go.
Yeah, and if you have children out there that their health is compromised, they have a medical condition, maybe they can't interact with those that are healthy, this is your one, and I think it's just an amazing opportunity to be part of the Shining Star event at the Lincoln Children's Museum.
The Lincoln Children's Museum also has its very popular Music and Mozzarella coming up. It's going to be taking place Thursdays.
Yep, 12 years.
Wow.
Great chance to go out and enjoy some pizza, some food, some great popular children's bands. One that we're happy to have coming back again is String Beans and the Mighty Magic Pants. They will be at the Children's Museum.
It's a lot of fun. I was able to take my granddaughters to this once when they were visiting, and they loved it.
It's great use of space over there, too. You don't realize that they have some outdoor space that's kind of bumps up against Centennial Mall that they can do a lot of these activities.
Lots of great music coming up. We've got a couple of great, the Longtime Music series coming up. The first is the Community Foundation Garden Performance Series, and it's a 31-year tradition.
It's a great chance to go down to the Community Foundation Gardens during the summer, enjoy some music, enjoy some lunch. There's a great little cafe right there to pick up some popcorn or a sandwich. And we don't want to forget the Give to Lincoln Day event on Thursday, May 26th. Great opportunity that will be held at Tower Square, located at 13th and P, as part of the programming as part of this event.
Also, the Stransky Park Summer Concert Series is kicking off May 26th. This is KZUM's third year of operating this, and they've got a great lineup this year.
Yeah, upwards of 13 concerts throughout the summer. Stransky Park, stop down there and give this an opportunity to entertain you. Great music.
Very family friendly. Bring your lawn
Oh, yeah.
chairs, bring your blankets, and just enjoy yourself.
It's a great park environment.
Brass in Time, 500 years of brass music at Nebraska Brass Concert is coming up at St. Paul.
Yeah, music from Vivaldi, J.S. Bach, Mozart, Rossini, John Philip Sousa's works, which include Star Wars, the Star Wars theme, Blackbird by John Lennon, and Paul McCartney, represent the 20th century renditions that they'll take place during this event.
You said John Philip Sousa did Star Wars?
No.
You got your
no.
Johns
I
mixed
do. I got
up.
my
John
John
Williams,
mixed
the
up.
great John Williams.
Yes.
But yeah, early works and everything up to contemporary music. That sounds like a great show.
500 years of brass music?
500
That's
years.
a long time.
Don't miss it. Also, don't miss the Nebraska Jazz Orchestra. Oh, wait, this is a reunion party. This sounds like a lot of fun.
This will be the 40th anniversary reunion party. This will be at Vega. If you've not been down to the rail yard, enjoyed the second floor music venue that they have there. Inside, very intimate, great food, great drinks, great time to be at Vega for this event.
A mix of music and theater. A Closer Walk with Patsy Cline is coming to Tada. She is one of my favorites.
Is she? You probably know so many songs, don't you?
I'm not big in country music, but I really, really love Patsy Cline.
This will follow her career, over 20 great hits that Patsy Cline, from her works at Carnegie Hall all the way to the Grand Ole Opry. Just a great music event.
You wonder what more she could have done if she hadn't died so early.
That seems to be something that you always wonder about with these musicians lately. So yeah, it's something that would be a lot of fun to go down there. Head down to the Tada Theater.
More music and theater at Lincoln Community Playhouse, the musical, Catch Me If You Can. And yes, this is based on the story of Frank.
Right.
Frank Abagnale.
Yep.
And it was a movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's right. Tom Hanks played Carl Hanratty, who was an FBI agent trying to track down Mr. Abagnale. This will be on the stage at Lincoln's Community Playhouse. I'm excited to see what their rendition looks like. A lot of great local talent involved in these productions.
Absolutely. Also at the Playhouse, a very special project, the Penguin Project, Beauty and the Beast. For those who don't know, this gives children with special needs an opportunity to take the stage. They have peer mentors, and it is a wonderful and beautiful, and words can't describe this. Get your tickets, that's all I'm going to say.
I'll tell you what, the social interaction is invaluable. This is a great opportunity to put two great bodies of people together and create some magic at the Community Playhouse.
And tickets for that usually go really fast.
Yes.
So if
Yes.
you want to see it, you can get your tickets now or as soon as they go on sale. Haymarket Theater is doing a summer camp based on the Three Musketeers.
This is a great chance during a week to pay tuition. There is a fee associated with the Haymarket Theater event, but for 1 week, they'll be part of the Three Musketeers camp. And what kid hasn't grown up at some point in their life, maybe the older generation, of wanting to become one of the Three Musketeers?
I think it's maybe more our generation,
Yeah.
but this will get more kids interested in some of that great literature.
I think just being involved in the theater is an amazing chance for youth to be involved.
Finding a summer camp is one of the great challenges for parents this time of year, and we've got some that Parks and Recreation is doing that we want to promote. We've got Camp Discovery out at the Pioneers Park Nature Center. They have a different theme every week, and we have a couple themes there. The week of June 6th is Seeds and Soils, and the 13th is Just Hike. Lots of good education and fun for the kids.
And they've done a good job just being very plain and simple. Seeds and soil is just that. You're going to get really hands-on, digging in, working with seeds and soil, learning how a plant kind of goes from the seed to actually growing. And then the Just Hike is just taking a chance to enjoy the park and hike around and see the different wildlife that takes place.
They'll be hiking about 1.5 hours a day, weather permitting. And we hope the weather is nice for them.
It's been a little rough this spring so far. Seems like we've had a lot of rain, but I think by then it will be perfect.
The Wilderness Nature Day Camp is also coming up. That's June 13th through the 17th. The theme for this camp is Mammoths and More. What will you unearth?
Millions of years ago, do you know the mammoth roamed probably right where we're standing and sitting right now? I mean, this is a great chance to go out there. The day camp is for ages 6 to 13, so keep that in mind, and a great chance to stop out to the Pioneers Park Nature Center Prairie Building for some great discovery.
And Wilderness Park is having a leadership camp. This is more for kids who are 14 to 17 years old.
Yeah, and they'll get a chance to practice their leadership skills. A lot of kids are already starting to think about careers and where they're going. Great chance to hone in on those skills.
Every 2 years, Lincoln does a Water Fest, and this is a great time to celebrate the substance that keeps us all alive. It's out at Holmes Lake Park. Lots of activities. It's also Public Works Day, so they have a lot of fun things out there for that. And of course, the string beans will be there.
Wildly popular string beans. Hey, you get a chance to pick up your Waterfest passport. There'll be vendor booths throughout the park. Great chance to go and be eligible for different prizes, earn free gifts, but more importantly, enjoy an amazing treasure at 70th Street. I love Holmes Lake. I grew up in that area. It's an amazing feature that we have in our community. And when you talk to people from across the community, West Lincoln, North Lincoln, South Lincoln, some people go, there's a lake in East Lincoln? There is, right smack dab in the middle of the city. Get out and support Waterfest. This is the 6th annual event.
And check out the website, lincoln.ne.gov. The key word is Waterfest. Also featuring water at Morrill Hall.
Yeah, this is Pop in Story Time called Water, and this will be on the 2nd floor of Morrill Hall. Everyone is invited to participate in Pop in Story Time. However, stories and activities are planned for ages 3 and 5, so keep that in mind when you're planning ahead for this one.
Going to talk about a couple of great festivals coming up. The Renaissance Festival is celebrating its 19th year this year.
Great food, great medieval themed
Jousting
costumes.
and turkey legs and
It definitely takes you back in time. This is a benefit for the Heartland Big Brothers and Big Sisters program here in Lincoln.
I think you can still slay a dragon out there.
Can you really?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Real dragon? No?
I'm not going to say.
Okay, all right. You told me dinosaurs weren't real last week or last time we talked, so I still believe. I do.
Sorry, Jeff.
Okay.
Dinosaurs were real.
Okay.
All right. Piedmont. The beautifully renovated Piedmont is having a food and wine festival.
That's right, teaming up with the People's City Mission as well as the Food Bank of Lincoln to break the record for the most cans of food donated in a single day. While doing so, enjoy some great food and wine. Stop out to Piedmont. It's definitely changed a lot. There's been a lot of great local investment in that development out there.
It's very, very nice. We're going to go out to the Lancaster Event Center. We've got 3 horse things coming up.
A lot of horsing around.
Horse events.
A lot of horsing around.
Oh, that's
Gotcha.
good.
Yep.
That's good. We've got turn and burn barrel racing.
That's right. We've got the Nebraska Charity Horse Show as well. Now, the Nebraska Charity Horse Show is a bunch of different disciplines: American Saddlebreds, Morgans, Hackney ponies, road horses, half-Arabians, as well as open breed classes. This is a big horse show.
The Blue Stem Miniature Horse Show is coming up. That sounds like it. You should go out and check that out.
They're pretty cute.
Are they?
They are. Every child wants a miniature horse when they go out and see this. So, hey, stop out to the event center. Their calendar is chock full every year of great events to kind of create that divide. There's an urban and rural divide that we have out there. Great chance to go see what's in our rural parts of our county.
Now, we all know school is winding down, of course, and one of the great things to wrap up the school year is the baseball tournament.
That's right. State High School Baseball is in Lincoln. Now, we will host Class A only in Lincoln. For years, we actually hosted both Class A and B. B will be up in Sarpy County, and we're very fortunate to be able to use Haymarket Park. Thank you to the University of Nebraska for that. It is right in the middle of their baseball season, so I definitely appreciate that, as well as Sherman Field. So enjoy some great high school baseball action.
All right. The last thing we want to talk about today is something called the Strider Cup, and this has to do with Strider balance bikes. And Jeff, you're going to have to take this one because I am not familiar with this.
Well, I've learned a lot about Strider balance bikes. Derek Bombeck on our staff, I went out and recruited this event, met these folks at a trade show. And Strider bikes are transitionary for 2 to 5 year olds between when they get off their big wheel or their little, like, I'm just starting to walk phase in life, to actually getting on a real bike. A Strider bike, 2 wheels, handlebars, no pedals. So they're striding as they're learning to ride. So it's a great competition. There's some great things going on in the rail yard for this event. There'll be an obstacle course for kids. There'll be prizes. We're so fortunate to have this relationship with Strider, the Strider folks, as well as Raising Cane's here in Lincoln.
All right, Jeff, that's going to wrap it up for us today. We want to let people know the website where they can find out more information.
That's right. Lincoln.org is our website. You can give us a call at 434-5348. That number is our visitor center down at 7th and P. You can stop down any time of the week and pick up visitor information.
All right. Are you going to get to participate in any runs this summer?
No.
Oh,
No.
Jeff.
No, I will spectate and I will cheer on and I will do everything I can, but I'm just not a runner.
There are tons of opportunities to not only get out and about, but get some exercise as well. And as we go to the break, we're going to show you some of those things coming up around the capital city. And then when we return, we'll have Tom Lorenz from Pinnacle Bank Arena and Pinewood Bowl. Stay with us.
This city isn't what outsiders think. Lincoln has always had the reputation of being a sleepy Midwest city, but not the type of place people think about living, especially young people. We've just never really been the place people dream about. That's about to change. It's time to change perceptions. Exciting things are happening in our city, big things. Our spirit has a renewed sense of energy and there's enthusiasm in our collective voice. You can feel it in the streets, see it on the skyline, hear it in the ideas of our young entrepreneurs and creative class. This might be a quiet, laid-back city, but it's buzzing with a flourishing economy and a rich, vibrant culture. Be young, have a booming career, raise a family. You can do it all here, and it just keeps getting better. We're the crossroads of blue skies and bustling progress, the sweet spot of balanced living. It feels good to be here, to be a part of it. In Lincoln, life is right. Now, it's time to let the world know.
And welcome back to Out and About. Wrapping up the show today is Tom Lorenz. Tom, I don't want you to feel bad because we always put you last.
That's okay. You always save the best
for
for
last. That's right. We want to talk a little bit about Pinewood Bowl for
Sure.
people who maybe haven't made it out there yet. They may have some questions about do's and don'ts for
Sure.
Pinewood
I think
Bowl.
we'll have a lot of first timers out there this year, and some of the things we remind people that we get asked a lot is, should I bring my own chair? Well, no, we have our chairs already set. We've got about 4,300 chairs that are already out there, and they are lined up to match up to the reserve seat area that they purchased, so they don't have to worry about that. We have concessions available at the arena or at the Pinewood Bowl so that they don't need to bring food and beverage. In fact, we won't allow them to bring outside food and beverage.
Can people bring in outside just bottles of water?
Bottles of water we'll kind of deal with on an individual basis. We'd really try to keep all outside food and beverage. If there's something special they have to have, we'll deal with that. Parking is, there's $5 parking to park out of the bowl, and they'll come in through the Elk Gate, so people will be directed into there, and they'll get fairly close parking, and it works really well. The shows happen rain or shine, so even if it's raining that day, we'll be able to set up the event, and we'll have the chairs set, and we'll invite people to come in, and we'll deal again with umbrellas and those type of things. But it's a very nice evening out there. The evenings always tend to be very, very nice. Bring a jacket, it may be a little cool, and people will have a great time. So I look forward to a lot of new faces out at the Pinewood Bowl this year.
Have mosquitoes and other kinds of critters been a problem?
Bugs and everything, there's always a breeze, and the park does some spraying beforehand, so we really haven't had an issue with that, and people have really enjoyed the experience.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we did have one cancellation.
We did.
Walk the Moon has canceled its show, and what was the reason for that?
One of the band members had an illness in their family, and they felt they really needed to be involved with that, and so they took the whole tour out, not just our show. They just didn't do the entire tour, and we're sad to see that one happen, but we're working to see what else we can put into the mix. It wouldn't be on the same night, and if persons had purchased tickets, particularly through Ticketmaster, their refund came back automatically. If they bought it somewhere else in an outlet or at our box office, if they return back to the place where they purchased their ticket, they can get their refund.
One of the biggest events of the summer, in my estimation, is the Paul Simon concert, May 19th, and this is just going to be a really special night.
Paul Simon, with such a great catalog of terrific music, will be coming out to Pinewood Bowl, and it's a very, very nice way for us to start the season. This would, as we talked about before, this would be a big show in the arena, and even it's a bigger show out at Pinewood. Very well attended. We're going to have a great evening to start off the season.
And some shows just seem to fit Pinewood so well.
They do. To just see Paul kind of out there, and certainly have a backup band, but I mean, it's really focused on Paul and that intimate setting, and that beautiful with the trees, and with our rain now, it'll be green, and it will be a really, really nice, and the sound out there is outstanding.
Well, Dylan is another one that's going to just fit the arena, or fit the
He
Pinewood
will,
Bowl perfectly.
it's kind of the poet of our times, and being able to be out there and in an outdoor setting, it almost feels like a Woodstock sort of thing without the millions of people and all the stuff that didn't happen. But it'll be a great evening. Mavis Staples joins them out there that night, and that will be a very, very, big opening act. That's probably our best opening act of the summer.
Ringo Starr and his band are coming June 25th, and I think one of the things that surprises me when I go to see a concert like this is you forget all the hits that Ringo had.
Ringo had a lot of hits, wrote a lot of stuff, and so he'll perform all those. And then when he goes out with this all-star band, I mean, this is not just a couple guys that kind of know how to play. These are tremendous people. Todd Rundgren is one of them, and then the lead singer from Mr. Mister, and there's just a lot of great musicians that come with them, and they'll play some of their stuff. So it's a very eclectic night. What a great entertainer, and it's one of the Beatles. So it's one of those things that those opportunities aren't frequent anymore, and so it's a very nice opportunity to see something. To see some music history.
Absolutely. 21 Pilots was the first show announced for the summer, and the first one to sell out.
First one to sell out, all set and ready to go. That's a general admission show, so there will not be chairs at that night. But then again, people can't bring chairs or blankets in, and their music continues to get more and more popular. This is probably end up being one of the smaller, more intimate shows that they're playing, doing a lot of arena shows and things like that. So we're very happy to be able to get them to come back to, they've been to Lincoln before. I think they played at the Bourbon, come back, do this really big show, and really watch them continue to rise in popularity.
For a general admissions show, do the gates open earlier?
No, it's still an hour to anywhere from 90 minutes to an hour before. Most of our shows at Pinewood are an hour gate, and it'll be on your ticket. We encourage people to get there a bit early just to help kind of get through traffic. But they'll be able to get in, get their space, and move about, get a cool beverage to have, and enjoy the evening.
Okay. Moving on, we've got Alabama August 4th, and just a few days later, Chicago and Weird Al. It's a big August.
It is. There's a nice run of shows, and Alabama kicks us off with great classic country. They've been an icon in country music for a long, long time. And we talk about hits, and people start to listen back to all the things that they did, they'll be very surprised. And then we move right into Chicago. Over 100 million albums sold, song after song. I think they're up to Chicago 31.
Wow.
They've titled all their albums with a number, and just tremendous music. And they're still a great bunch of musicians.
Another piece of music history.
They have been, and I can remember, I grew up, in the Chicago area, and I can remember, that was always a big thing. It was kind of our hometown band, and they have been just with the horns and all the different things that they incorporated, they've been a long-term band. Great, a lot of fun, and they really make it great for the audience.
A big night of laughs, August 10th. I am looking forward to this very much. I'm a huge Weird Al Yankovic fan.
Weird Al will just come back and parody all of our favorite songs, and it kind of puts it into perspective when Weird Al does your song. And he was often asked, do musicians get irritated when he does their song? And I think most of them look at it as a badge of honor that Weird Al is doing their song and doing it in his way. And it will be a great musician, does a lot of recording at home. It isn't real big and flashy, but he just has a huge following, and it'll be a very fun night.
And for people who haven't seen him, he is just a riot.
He is. Then right into Beach Boys.
Yes, the next night, Beach Boys and Temptations, some more music history, really.
It's hot summer nights, you can't think of anything better than, you and I probably drove around listening to the Beach Boys as we grew up. So it's just a wonderful opportunity to see a great bunch of, many of the original musicians are still there. Very, very fun music. You'll be able to sing along with most of that. And the Temptations also. This is an evening of music history, and just being able to thoroughly enjoy a hot summer night out under the stars.
Bonnie Raitt is coming September 6th. That's going to be another show that fits the bowl really well.
Bonnie is, that's the perfect. She's this consummate blues guitarist, lyricist, and written a lot of tremendous songs. She's really kind of been an icon for a lot of other female musicians, and so she is. It will be a really, really nice night. Great blues. She just can shred that guitar.
And such a unique and beautiful voice.
It is, and a lot of music history there. Her father was a great musician, and so we'll really look forward to seeing that. One of the last times I saw her was back in the Chicago area, and that was a few years back. She does an excellent, excellent show.
And Steve Martin and Martin Short are coming, and it's this is the second time you've had comedy at the bowl.
It is, and we had one comedy show last year. This will be the second time, and it's going to be comedy. It's going to be music. It's going to be, who knows how these two are going to interact. You get Steve Martin and Martin Short together. Lots of really strange things can happen. Steve Martin will play some music. He's been collaborating with I think it's Edie Brickell quite a bit lately, and so there's some really exciting things. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, and I think that's kind of the fun of it. It will be a great evening with those two together. Great talents, crosses a lot of artistic lines, and it will be a fun show.
Well, let's head down to the West Haymarket now, Pinnacle Bank Arena. Of course, you're busy with commencement exercises for a while.
We do. We have, this is the big spring graduation, and so we'll have Friday nights, the doctorates and everything else will happen on the first night, and then the large graduation on Saturday morning. Again, there's lots of parking down in the Haymarket. There's the red, green, and blue deck garages. There's the Pinnacle Bank Arena Festival space, which is over towards the Salt Dog Stadium. Free, usually free or very inexpensive parking over there. It's a great way just to walk across the bridge. We encourage people to come out. They'll spend a little time in the plaza afterwards, head over to the rail yard for a little refreshment afterwards, and it's a great fun event.
Maybe head downtown then to the Bourbon or the Zoo or one of the great
that's
music
it. We see
venues.
families go out and kind of spread throughout town, and when there's so many people that maybe haven't been down to the rail yard yet, first time they're down there since all the new development has happened, and we're very happy to welcome all of those out-of-town guests.
Well, let's run through the list of events. I think there's only one new one to announce, but it's a big one. But let's start off with Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey, June 3rd through the 5th. And this is, I was thinking this is the circus.
It is the circus. You know, this is the one that's been out there for years and years. Circus Extreme will be, you know, a really neat example of a great circus. You'll see the animal acts and different things come in. It will be fun. Lots of exciting things. These are tremendous athletes, as well as performers, and so they combine those two things together, along with all the fun stuff, the clowns and everything else. It's a great, great family event, and it's the first time that Ringling has been in Lincoln 4 years. It's probably been 25 or 30 years
Wow.
since Ringling, the full circus, has been in Lincoln.
Celebrate Lincoln is coming up June 10th and 11th. This is at the festival space.
Right.
And this space has worked out really well for this event.
It really has, and we kind of set the stage up so that in the background is the Lincoln Bridge. It's really, really fun. We get to work with our friends over at Broadcast House. We work with Amy and Brooke over there. Blue Oyster Cult on the first night, and then Tyler Farr on the second night. Tyler, a great upcoming country star. He's starting to roll up a nice roll of hits, and Blue Oyster Cult's a band that we listen to a lot. It's a great opportunity to see these two for a very reasonable price. It's $10, or if you get the coupon, it's an $8 ticket. And the festival space has lots of room, and you can spread out and bring all your friends and have a great time.
Bieber Fever is coming June 21st. Warning.
Justin, who kind of came up as an internet sensation, and then did a lot of solo work. Now does a lot of compilations and does some work with other artists. He's starting to be recognized as the true artist he is, and he is very good. And there's always a few surprises, I'm sure, with his show, and lots of movement and dancing, and so it'll be a fun event. There's still some tickets available for that show, and so if you've got your favorite boyfriend, girlfriend that wants to come check that out, and it's a great couples night at a Bieber show.
And with someone like Justin Bieber, it's kind of interesting to watch them grow as a person and as a musician as they go through life's ups and downs.
They do, and they make some mistakes and learn some things and move on and become stronger and better, and I think Justin will be an artist for a long time.
The biggest announcement lately from Pinnacle Bank Arena has been Kiss.
Kiss. Come see Kiss, and Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley and the guys, and a band that's been around for a long time. They kind of exemplify rock and roll. I mean, this is it with the makeup and the pyro and all they'll have the full show ready and ready to go. Caleb Johnson opens up for them. It's selling well, and I think it'll be. I can't remember the last time Kiss was in town or even close by. So this is one of those opportunities, and that's one of those bands that may not tour much longer either. So I encourage people to take that opportunity, come down and kind of relive their 70s and 80s with us for a while.
And with all that makeup, they never really age.
No, they don't. And they still rock it out. And that's the show is the music is a big part, but the show is a big part of this also. So it's a fun evening.
A circus based on Avatar. This looks like it's going to be really, really cool.
Cirque du Soleil, which is, if you've been to Las Vegas or, they tour around the country, this is one of their most popular touring attractions right now. Beautiful, beautiful performance. It is very interactive with acrobats and dancers and music and visuals, and this will be one of the biggest production shows we do. It comes out into the audience, you sit around it, you're part of it, and basing it off of Avatar, which was one of the most popular music or movies out there in the last maybe 10-15 years, is a brilliant stroke, and it will be a very engaging, great family show, and you'll see a lot of advertising coming about it very soon.
If you're in the Haymarket August 18th through the 20th, you will probably be able to smell the barbecue.
That's the best part. At that Rib Fest, that smell just kind of radiates around and makes you hungry long before you get there. And we've got some cool musical surprises this year. We'll do some really good bands on Friday and Saturday. And it's a very inexpensive. It's $5 to come in. Great food. There'll be lots of parking. That the Salt Dogs are out of town this year, so we'll be able to park right next to the Ribfest space on the Salt Dog side. Lots of spaces to sit down, join family, and we get family groups that come in and just make an evening of it. And they'll have some dinner, and then they'll have some dessert and listen to some great music. It's a wonderful spot, and there's always a breeze out in the festival space.
Wrapping up August is a religious event, the Belong Tour, for a couple days.
It is, and it was formerly called Women of Faith, and the Belong Tour just kind of points out that they're in kind of a new direction, a little younger demographic. Great evening Friday night, and then all day Saturday. Very inspirational, and a wonderful event that draws women from 5 or 6 states around. And last year we had over 11,000 women on Saturday. And it's a wonderful bonding, very teaching time, and a great inspiration time.
We have a huge October planned with two great acts. Maroon 5 is coming October 4th, and then just a few days later, Keith Urban.
We've been watching some YouTube versions of Maroon 5, maybe covering some Prince songs lately, and they're outstanding. They're just a great band that a lot of great musicianship. Love to have James Valentine back. Really looking forward to that. And then Keith Urban, just one of the consummate guitarists out there who plays country, and lots of great history with Keith Urban. Played at the State Fair recently, did great, and we're really happy to have him come to Lincoln. That show is selling extremely well also, and will make a really great fall for us with a terrific country artist.
On the last show we're going to talk about today, early November, a country legend, Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson has been around for years and years, and written some some songs that really are part of our life. And he talked about the 9/11 and some other songs that he's done. This is a big surprise for us. It is selling great. We were really, we knew it would do well. It's gone beyond our expectations. He puts on a terrific show. Very, very nice guy, and that will be a show that I think will really draw all ages, because he appeals to the older country fans, and also he's got a lot of stuff that the younger country fans really like. So we'll see a terrific night, and November's a fun time to do a show. Walk out, go across, have a little dinner at the rail yard afterwards, and make it an evening.
And before too long, the ice rink will be up.
That's right, and maybe probably, I don't know if it comes up that early, but there'll still be plenty of opportunity. And you can talk about the last and the next football game, and we'll probably still be undefeated at that time, and hopefully the Huskers have a great finish, and Alan can sing a little bit about that too.
Well, what a great variety, something for all ages, all different musical tastes.
It's been great, and Lincoln continues to support this, and this is I have a fun job, and I get to talk about a lot of great things happening, and we meet wonderful people that come in, so it's a great opportunity, and thank you for letting me talk about this.
Well, thank you, Tom. We want to let people know the websites where you can check out more information. PinewoodBowlTheater.com and PinnacleBankArena.com. Those are the sites to go for more information. Tom, keep up the great work.
Thanks.
Well, that is all for this month's Out and About show. I want to thank all the guests that we had for today. Now, if you missed any of the events, stay tuned. We'll be running a list right after this. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you out and about.